And I'm always of the mindset of like, let's show it to the most critical people first, like the people who are diehard book fans, because then you want to make sure that you're servicing the people who are most passionate about it. And Isabella at this point was still working at a restaurant in Brooklyn. Colleen called her and she was like, you gotta come to the screening. She's like, I can't get my shift covered. She's like, get on a plane, come now. And so she like left from the restaurant with like I don't know.
I didn't even make it to the restaurant that day.
Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. What many people thought would never happen has officially happened. The documents have been unsealed, and not just a few of them. We're talking hundreds of pages. Text messages, exhibits, statements of undisputed facts, all now public. And here's the part that shocked me the most. They are not heavily redacted. Phone numbers? Yes. Occasional names? Yes. But the substance? Fully visible. And for anyone wondering, is Taylor Swift in these documents? Yes. Is Ryan Reynolds in here? Yes. Are there text messages where Blake Lively is openly trash-talking people, strategizing, and making inappropriate comments? That's also a big yes. What we're about to go through today completely reframes everything we've been told publicly about this situation. Even the evidence that's most favorable to Blake Lively still raises extremely serious questions. So buckle up, because this is a lot. Let's start with context. Blake Lively's exhibits were unsealed as part of her response to a motion for summary judgment, meaning the other side is asking the court to throw the entire case out. These documents are being used by Blake to explain her version of events, refute claims made against her, and argue why the case should proceed. She filed nearly 300 documents, and while many people feared these would be useless because of redactions, that did not happen. Instead, what we see is private text messages, behind-the-scenes discussions, admissions of influence, leverage, and power, and repeated involvement of very famous names, including Taylor Swift. One thing becomes very clear very quickly. Blake Lively spends a lot of time trash-talking people behind their backs. She talks negatively about Justin Baldoni, Colleen Hoover, Jenny Slate, other cast members, and industry professionals. But here's the part that made my jaw drop. She would trash Justin to other people and then turn around and text Justin directly telling him how much she loved him. That is not speculation. That is documented behavior, and it raises a major question. If someone is genuinely afraid of another person, would they behave like this? Because this pattern repeats again and again. Now let's talk about something that absolutely cannot be ignored. In the Statement of Undisputed Facts, it states that Blake Lively commented on the physical appearance of actors in connection with the project, both before and after issuing demands. One example, from March 29th, she discusses a potential actor and says, "He's pretty." But the more serious example comes from May 2024. Blake texts a younger male cast member, Brandon Sklenar, the following: "I'm becoming pimp adjacent. Put on a short little skirt and get on the corner, Sklenar." That message is repeated word for word in the document. Blake's legal team claims this was a joke between friends. They argue it did not comment on his physical appearance. But pause for a second. Just imagine if a male director said to a female actor, "Put on a short skirt and get on the corner," even as a joke. Would anyone defend that? Here's where the contradiction becomes impossible to ignore. Blake has publicly objected to Justin Baldoni describing her wardrobe as sexy or hot, yet she herself uses language like this toward a male colleague. That is a double standard, and it matters. The documents also show Blake and Jenny Slate commenting on the physical appearance of another female celebrity while on set. In one text, Blake recalls an incident where Slate described staring at a celebrity's midsection and commenting on her body. Justin Baldoni apparently entered the conversation briefly and then backed off. After that, Blake and Slate looked at him in silence. This pattern is important. This is not someone avoiding inappropriate commentary. This is someone actively participating in it. Now let's talk about Taylor Swift. She appears constantly in these documents. On April 12, 2023, Blake asks Taylor for help. She refers to Justin Baldoni as the doofus director of my movie. She then describes him as a clown who thinks he's a writer now. Blake asks Taylor to endorse a revised script, even without reading it. Her words, "You don't have to read it." Remember, Taylor Swift later publicly claimed she knew nothing about this situation and felt ambushed. But the documents tell a very different story. Blake claims she sent Taylor the script on her way to Blake's apartment and told her she didn't have to read it, but hoped she would. According to the documents, Taylor replied, "I'll do anything for you." Taylor then met with Blake and Justin at Blake's apartment. During that meeting, Taylor endorsed Blake's revised draft. Afterward, Blake texted Taylor saying, "You were so epically heroic today." She goes on to describe Justin as a clown and laughs about how Taylor made things up and how he fell for it. That text is critical. Blake is acknowledging that Taylor exaggerated or fabricated points. Justin believed her, and they laughed about it afterward. Later, Blake disputes this characterization, but the text exists, and it directly contradicts Taylor's public narrative. A few days later, Justin texts Blake saying he would have liked the script rewrite regardless of Ryan Reynolds or Taylor Swift. Blake responds by explaining that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift are her dragons, referencing Game of Thrones. She says they protect her, and she follows that with, "We all benefit from my relationship with Ryan and Taylor, and you will too, I can promise you." That is not fear. That is power positioning. Another serious issue involves discussions of consent. Blake objected to Justin referencing personal times where physical consent was not given, framing situations as abuse or being abused. Later, Blake compared Justin's comments to an article he wrote discussing his own experience as a victim of sexual abuse. She shared this article with Taylor Swift. Blake disputes certain aspects, but the documents note that Justin's account partially aligns with testimony from security personnel. Despite these alleged concerns, Blake continued to communicate warmly with Justin, work collaboratively, and leverage his trust. Next, we get into trailer and marketing. Blake disputes claims she made extensive edits, but the texts show her pushing edits, securing approvals, and asking Taylor Swift to review the trailer. At the same time, Blake tells famous friends, including Matt Damon, Luciana Damon, and Ben Affleck, that she rewrote the entire script and directed every actor. She describes Justin to Ben Affleck as a chaotic clown, and she does not dispute saying this. Blake urged her famous friends to support her version of the film over Justin's. This includes Taylor Swift, Bradley Cooper, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck. In April 2024, Blake and Taylor discussed using Taylor's song in the trailer. Taylor writes, "If Justin was strategic, he wouldn't put my music in the trailer. That gives you more power." Blake replies, "You're so right. How stupid." That conversation alone contradicts Taylor's claim of non-involvement. It shows strategic discussion, acknowledgement of leverage, and conscious use of celebrity influence. Reading these texts in real time is unsettling. The public image, feminism, empowerment, victim advocacy. The private messages, mockery, manipulation, strategic leveraging of power. Taylor Swift did not act like someone being used. She acted like a willing participant. In Blake's PGA letter, she writes that she personally secured Taylor Swift's song, claiming it helped create the largest debut trailer of all time. She name drops Taylor Swift and Bradley Cooper. She frames her demand for credit as a feminist issue. But the documents show strategic power plays, celebrity pressure, and influence-based intimidation. That weakens her argument, not strengthens it. My heart honestly sank reading these messages. Because if a woman can joke about pimping out a coworker, but a man complimenting wardrobe becomes harassment, that is a double standard, and it hurts real victims. We still haven't seen everything. More exhibits are coming. Next video, we'll talk about Ryan Reynolds' role in all of this. For now, tell me what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching. Bye, friends.